festivals. These annual celebrations offer average citizens the opportunity to escape the doldrums of everyday life and have some good, clean fun. But good, clean fun isn't what everyone's looking for. It's time to experience the boldest, most unusual, awe-inspiring celebrations on the face of the earth, where the participants might call themselves ordinary, but the activities are anything but. Motorcycles rule the road in one South Dakota town's annual celebration of the two-wheeled motorized wonder. Skewers and spikes pierce the flesh and put the faithful to the test at a Hindu festival in Malaysia. A heart-pounding fall through the sky at more than 100 miles an hour is what you get at this yearly gathering of daredevil skydivers. Plus, it's not size, but heart that matters at a dwarf competition where everyone reaches for the gold. And it's amazing the lengths to which some Alaskan men will go to get a date. They are some of the most fantastic and daring parties in the world, and they're all coming up next on Extreme Festivals. They're loud, fast, revered icons of the open road. From Harley-Davidsons to Hondas, since the early 1900s, the motorcycle has been driving its way into the heart of American culture and has become the transportation method of choice for rebels and purveyors of freedom. And nowhere are these two-wheeled motorized wonders more beloved than in the motorcycle capital of the world, Sturgis, South Dakota. Welcome to the annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, a week-long celebration of the motorcycle, the people who love them, and one of the wildest, craziest, most carefree parties you'll ever see.
Welcome to Sturgis!
Sturgis is a small town of 7,000 people situated in the heart of the Black Hills, just an hour from Mount Rushmore. For most of the year, it's a place of peace and tranquility. But for 7 days every August, the town opens up their roadways to a unique collection of leather-clad bikers, white-collar professionals, and outlandish freaks, all with one thing in common. They want to escape the four-wheeled traffic of the outside world and unite in celebration of the motorcycle.
Nothing but a good time, that's all we're looking for.
And I come out here for the fun every year, and the only thing there is here is fun. Let your hair down, enjoy yourself, be yourself. That's what it's all about.
The people that come to the rally, it's anybody you can think of, doctors, lawyers, mechanics, old-time racers, all kinds of people get here. Well, I think it's kind of their mecca, a thing that I guess any person that's into motorcycles wants to come to Sturgis, just to be in Sturgis.
The annual pilgrimage to Sturgis began in 1938. That's when motorcycle salesman J.C. Hoyle sponsored the very first rally, a simple one-day event of motorcycle competitions. Only 19 riders showed up then, but in the 61 rallies since, the Sturgis event has evolved into a week-long festival that attracts as many as 500,000 motorcycle enthusiasts every year. They come from all around the world to this undisputed epicenter of the motorcycling universe.
Well, obviously it's gotten bigger. The rally's gotten bigger. I would say it's just a word-of-mouth thing. In the early days, a lot of people came and had fun. They tell their friends, and it kept getting bigger and bigger.
It's my first year here, and it's unbelievable, man. It's everything they said it would be and more.
The rally is often billed as a Harley-Davidson festival because so many of those attending it ride these famed hogs of the road. But in reality, you'll find bikes of all shapes and sizes, and every make and model. In Sturgis, the rule is, as long as it's a motorcycle, it's welcome.
I just love being around all the bikes. I'd say anybody that has anything to do with motorcycles has to be here and see it once in their lifetime.
Come down to Sturgis to party it up and have a good time. It's the best cross-section of Americana you'll find anywhere in the USA. So get on your scooter and ride on down.
Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, everything you see, it's about motorcycles. Vendors sell everything from motorcycle engines to motorcycle art. And then there's the newly opened Sturgis Motorcycle Museum and Hall of Fame that proudly displays the classics from rallies past. In this town, if it has to do with motorcycles, they've got it. The heart of this festival is located along world-famous Main Street in downtown Sturgis. Closed off to anything that's not on two wheels, this 5-block stretch of road is where motorcycle lovers converge to proudly show off their pride and joy to fellow devotees of the motorized bike.
It's 1988, the 85th anniversary.
This is a 99 FXR2. It's a limited production bike. There's only 900 made that year.
It's 1954 Panhead original. It was originally a chopper. It was blue. It took 7 years to get it to where it is today.
But the Sturgis Rally isn't just about showing off your bike. It's also about racing it. And perhaps no other competition at the festival requires more skill and daring on the motorcycle than the treacherous hill climb. Riding an assortment of dirt bikes and off-road specialties, more than 50 riders rev up their engines and race up this treacherous incline in the hopes of becoming Sturgis's king of the hill.
Different classes, 50 cc's up to open class 750s, 1300s, whatever. We time it down to the thousandth of a second. Who can get up the hill the fastest?
The hill is always dangerous. There's some ledges, whoop-de-doos, and there's some big rocks up there. Although it looks deceiving from the bottom, when you're on the bike full throttle, it gets pretty scary.
But as the sun sinks behind the Black Hills and the competitions come to a close, the day is far from done. For now it's time for Sturgis to do what it does best, party.
Everyone can do whatever they want. No one cares.
It's fabulous. It's great. I own a bike, and it's just like a lifetime dream. And finally got able to do it. It was great.
Well, you see a lot of topless women. You see some really cool bikes. Naked people. Drunk people. Different people come out. It's a lot of fun.
There's no shortage of night spots in Sturgis. With more than 30 bars, a free-fall ride, and numerous concerts every night, the motorcycle capital of the world has a little something for everyone. But how does a town that is normally home to 7,000 people keep control of hundreds of thousands of bikers looking to have a good time at all costs?
Bikers, for the most part, are pretty easy to work. They're nice people. They come here. They're all individuals. They're husbands and wives. They're just all here to have a good time and have a party. We don't deal with a lot of major stuff. The most common that we deal with downtown are the indecent exposure, which is basically, getting undressed downtown in one form or another. We try to give as many breaks as we can and yet keep control. Our main goal is just to keep everybody safe and let them have a fun, enjoyable rally and have a good party. That's pretty much what it all boils down to.
While sports cars, minivans, and SUVs may now rule the American roadways, for 1 week every year, Sturgis, South Dakota serves as a little piece of paradise, where those still devoted to the rebellious spirit of the motorcycle can simply be themselves. Coming up next on Extreme Festivals, the faithful at a Hindu celebration in Malaysia feel no pain. Daredevils fill the sky at the World Freefall Convention. Plus, some of the planet's tiniest athletes stand tall at the World Dwarf Games. When we return to Extreme Festivals. We're back with more Extreme Festivals. Sharp skewers pierce tongues. Steel spikes bore through cheeks. Fishing hooks puncture bare skin. Yet blood doesn't flow. And no one feels pain. It is a shocking spectacle of mind over matter. It is the Festival of Tai Pusam. In the city of Kuala Lumpur, one of Malaysia's and the world's most extreme festivals is underway. Here, penitents demonstrate their faith by performing a sacred Hindu ritual known as Tai Pusam. The 2,000-year-old festival is a passionate display of courage and faith for devotees of the Hindu deity, Lord Murugan. Each January, when the moon is full and amidst a carnival atmosphere, thousands of Hindus from Malaysia and beyond partake in this extraordinary ritual.
This festival has attracted the Hindus from all over the country, if not all over the world.
For 3 days, pilgrims, penitents, and tourists journey 8 miles to the Batu Caves Temple, where the Tai Pusam festival culminates. Young and old, sick and healthy, professionals and laborers, every walk of life participates. All approach their God with humility, with bare feet, and oftentimes with shaved heads. Many carry offerings, pails of milk, or jasmine water. Some prove their faith by lancing their tongues and cheeks with the vel, the symbolic spear of Lord Murugan. The ritual vel can be a short needle piercing the tongue, or a long arrow-tipped skewer bored through both cheeks. But before the flesh is pierced, a devotee must be put into a trance. Some need almost no coaxing. Others never succeed.
Once you get a trance, with a full devotional trance, you put the hooks, there will be no pain.
The preparation for the celebration is extensive. For 3 weeks before the festival, participants must obey tradition by purifying themselves, fasting, praying, and abstaining from sex. And those who choose to endure what is believed to be the highest honor the devout can offer to Murugan build a kavadi, or portable shrine, which they will carry on their backs up the steps to the Batu Caves.
It takes about 1 month to build the kavadi, design the kavadi.
A wooden or steel arch decorated with symbolic features and flowers, the kavadi is adorned with a picture of Lord Murugan as well as with ritual objects. The kavadi gets attached to the body with 54 hooks into the chest and 54 hooks into the back. If the trance didn't block out the pain, even the slightest move would be excruciating.
Once you put in, it will enter up to here. You pull like this. You poke in, it will go through. There will be no pain.
As Kuala Lumpur comes alive with the extreme festival of Tai Pusam, Lord Murugan's silver chariot moves through the streets.
Welcome to Malaysia, welcome to Tai Pusam Festival.
Devotees prove their faith again and again, piercing tongues, spearing cheeks. Some even hang hooks weighted by lemons, fruits, or small pitchers of milk. And the most devout endure the more than 100 hooks that hold the kavadi in place. The concentration is so intense that they feel no pain and, amazingly, shed no blood. Throngs chant and sing to help the faithful stay entranced as the Cavati's 108 hooks puncture their flesh. They carry the 10-foot-tall shrine more than a mile to the Batu Caves. The devout strain their hooks with each step as music fills the air. The hypnotic rhythms and chants help them remain under the spell of Taipusam. They say it is not pain they feel, but bliss.
He can't feel anything. He can't feel anything.
As everyone nears the caves, the mutilation rituals escalate and the frenzied masses converge. The almost endless procession finally reaches the journey's end, the Batu Caves, a holy Hindu site for a century. But to reach the caves, the faithful must climb 272 steps. After the arduous trek, the faithful dance in celebration. In the city of Kuala Lumpur, the extraordinary devotion of one of the world's most extreme festivals has been fulfilled. The Vels and Cavatis will be put away. But in another year, the entranced penitents will once more demonstrate their faith in the sacred Hindu ritual of Taipusam. In this shocking spectacle of mind over matter, of unbelievable bliss. Coming up next on Extreme Festivals, adrenaline junkies fall from the sky at more than 100 miles an hour at the biggest skydiving party in the world. Pint-sized competitors dominate the field at the World Dwarf Games. And an Alaskan town auctions off its bachelors when Extreme Festivals returns. We're back with more of Extreme Festivals. They are some of the boldest and most daring people in the world. They have an unquenchable taste for adventure. And some would say an underdeveloped sense of fear. And at one of America's most extreme festivals, where the party takes place 14,000 feet in the sky, it's the adrenaline rush of hurtling back towards the Earth at more than 100 miles an hour that keeps these crazy free-falling revelers coming back for more year after year. Skydivers of the world take flight. Here at the World Free Fall Convention in Quincy, Illinois, the sky's the limit to a good time.
Go.
Quincy is a small farming town perched along the banks of the Mississippi River, 300 miles southwest of Chicago. Around here, corn is king, at least for most of the year. But for 10 days in August, all eyes are turned away from the cornfields and up to the sky, where it's raining men and women and anyone else with a thirst for heart-pounding adventure. For the last 12 years, Quincy Regional Airport has served as the home to the World Freefall Convention, an international celebration of one of the world's most extreme sports, put on by the adrenaline junkies who love it.
Excellent, excellent. Very good jump. Your feet dragging in the water like you're water skiing, except you got no rope to hang on to. You're just flying, man. You're just flying through there.
I started skydiving about 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. And it basically took over my life.
I want to jump out of an airplane because it just feels great. It's free, just exhilarating. It's the best thing I can do with my pants on.
The World Freefall Convention, it's the largest skydiving event in the world, and it's actually 10 times larger than the second largest skydiving event in the world. What it's not is about competition or politics. What it is all about is having fun and purely enjoying the sport of skydiving.
The festival kicked off in the summer of 1989, when more than 600 skydivers participated in 16,000 death-defying jumps. And over the course of the last 12 years, the convention has blossomed into the planet's most celebrated skydiving spectacle. This year's festival is expected to attract more than 5,000 thrill-seeking daredevils from more than 50 countries who will make an astounding 65,000 jumps during the event.
It's like Disneyland for skydivers.
Typically, Quincy Regional Airport isn't that busy of an airport, but during the World Freefall Convention, we're actually the second busiest airport in the country in terms of takeoffs and landings.
And it's not your run-of-the-mill planes burning up and down the airport's runways, but instead one of the most diverse and acclaimed collections of aircraft you'll find anywhere in the world.
One of the things skydivers all enjoy is jumping out of unique and unusual aircraft. And the World Freefall Convention provides a cadre of unusual aircraft that literally can't be jumped anywhere else in the world. Boeing 727, stretch C-130s, B-17, B-24 bombers, and we actually exit out of the bomb bay doors.
We have helicopters, Bell 412 helicopters, we have biplanes, we do Casas, Otters, King Airs, pretty much anything that flies we've jumped out of here.
Yeah, it's all about getting a bunch of skydivers together, jumping out of all different types of aircraft, having fun. Yeah, skydiving.
But it's not jumping solo that turns on some of these daredevils of the sky. It's jumping with others. And with so many talented skydivers gathered in one place, Quincy offers the unique opportunity to participate in some of the skydiving world's most heralded and dangerous group jumps.
I have over 6,000 skydives. I've seen 6 or 7 people die on large formations like this. If somebody goes below it and opens or anything like that, it's like riding a motorcycle through clotheslines at over 120 miles an hour. You could die very easily.
One of the choreographers and organizers of these group jumps is Roger Ponce de Leon.
Next 2 out the door. 1 here, fill in that slot. 27.
A veteran skydiver with more than 9,000 jumps under his belt. Today, he is designing a jump that will put 31 skydivers into a synchronized free fall.
First off, you try to get people that you don't have to worry about being how dangerous it is. We try to get recommendations from different people and know who they are. It takes a little bit of time. You have to make sure everything is told in detail to them so they know the break-off plan, they know exactly what we're going to do in the sky.
Feeling confident that they've mastered the formation on the ground, now it's time to head to the sky and make the jump. Once the plane reaches its jump altitude of 14,000 feet, the jumpers make last-minute checks of their equipment. And then it's time for these skydivers to put their practice and experience into action.
It was great. Nothing like being in free fall with 30 of your friends. But we completed it pretty well. Beautiful place here at Quincy.
While most of those at Quincy are seasoned skydivers who have been jumping for years, the convention also caters to several hundred first-time jumpers who are eager to put aside their fear, strap themselves onto an instructor, and experience what it's like to free fall through the sky in a supervised tandem jump.
I've wanted to do it for a long time, and I'm finally going to do it.
When I get up there, I just know my heart's going to be pounding.
All I do is sign some paperwork, meet with the instructor. It takes me about 1 minute to train on the first jump.
While it sounds easy enough, what you really need to make your first skydive is a bizarre mix of courage and insanity.
Okay, I'm ready to go. Let's go back.
And as the plane approaches the jump altitude, time is running out on these first-time jumpers to find that delicate balance. When the door opens, it's time to take a leap of faith and find out if you've got what it takes to be a skydiver.
I don't know what to say. I'm kind of lost for words right now. It was perfect.
As the sun sets on Quincy and another World Freefall Convention comes to a close, corn once again returns to its place of prominence in this farming town. But always eager to fall through the air at breakneck speeds, the skydivers will be back again next year to push the laws of physics to their very limit.
As skydivers, it's a group of people that's always looking for something new, unique, cutting edge. Just no matter how extreme it is, they want just a little bit more extreme. Is there really a limit? I don't think so. It's all really a limitation. It's a three-dimensional world, only limited by your own creativity and your own imagination.
Coming up next on Extreme Festivals. What they lack in size, they make up for in skill. Watch these athletes strut their stuff and take home the gold at the World Dwarf Games. Plus, an Alaskan town's competition to find a queen of the wilderness and sell its bachelors to the highest bidders when we return to Extreme Festivals. We're back with Extreme Festivals. Toronto calls itself the most peaceful city in the world. Not if you judge by these battles, it's not. Okay. On the very same day that Toronto lost the 2008 Olympic Games to Beijing, another set of international games were in full swing at the northern edge of the city. The third World Dwarf Games. A Canadian Mountie leads the way, but in all, 8 nations have sent athletes to compete at the week-long games.
My question is to the athletes. Are you ready? Yeah! Without further ado, let the games begin.
Want to be on that one, folks. That's going to be tight.
You consider the average little person is growing up in a town where they're one of only a few, if not the only, a little person. So where do you compete in terms of sports? Where do you compete in terms of feeling on par with your peers in anything else? You know, when you have an opportunity, an international opportunity, to be with all these other people like yourself, that likeness, the dwarfism, is gone. It's not an issue anymore. You know, now it's just you.
USA rock! Woo!
These games in Toronto are exclusively for dwarves.
You don't have to be fast. You just have to look fast. Nike contract right there, baby. Nike contract.
We came here with our daughter Julia, who is 13, and she's going to be doing some competing. She'll be doing running, the shot put, and the javelin.
It's actually kind of overwhelming because it's, I don't know, it's, you're used to living in like a world where all these people, you know, run faster than you.
60 meters.
Yeah.
Oh, well, don't worry. You're too good at 60 meters.
First competition. When you actually have the chance to win, it's kind of scary. It's strange, it's shocking, but I like it.
Some of the 250 athletes here are elite competitors chasing world records across a week of athletic events. Some are here for the pleasure of the competition.
You cheer because you want everybody to do good as best they can, and sometimes if you don't hear cheering, it's like, why am I doing this? You know, especially for the kids.
And kids are the other principal focus of the Dwarf Games. The events give dwarf youngsters a chance to spend time together and to compete on an even playing field. The Dwarf Athletic Association of America, or the DAAA as it's called, has to decide whether or not to adjust the field of play to compensate for size. In some net sports like badminton, the net is lowered. For soccer, the field size is reduced to cut down on running. And in basketball, for basketball, the DAAA changed nothing at all. An athletes advisory committee decided to keep the basket at regulation height.
First line, inside edge, both sides.
I have certain boundaries. If they step outside those boundaries, I'll call it. If they stay within those boundaries, we're gonna have a great game.
A great equivalent once was a newscast said the equivalent of a 4-foot tall person making a basket is the equivalent of Shaquille O'Neal shooting at a 25-foot hoop. You know, it's a phenomenal difference. And so when you see people making baskets, it's really quite impressive.
Basketball is one of the most popular events at the Games. There are so many Americans entering that there are 4 U.S. squads, and they're going up against teams fielded by the UK and France.
Basic strategy is don't try to do more than you have to. In terms of defense, we're playing mostly a zone because we don't know each other. You know, we're all from different parts of the world. We don't know anybody's strengths or weaknesses. We're all equal here. So that's why we're playing a zone, and so far it's working.
Well, it was tough. I mean, couldn't compete with them. It's just too good, aren't they? They just pulled over us, basically. I mean, the big one. He just ran over you, basically, you know. He just got in his way, that's it, boom.
The French take the bronze, and Americans take the silver and the gold. But according to the organizers, the quest for gold isn't the only match at the World Dwarf Games.
Oh, it's a meat market. A lot of dating that starts and stops. In the sense that, I mean, suddenly you're surrounded by hundreds of other people like you.
All right. What kind of pizza you guys like?
Dude, there are 17 single women who all were looking for a guy 4'10".
All right. The opportunity to find someone you find a little more interesting than the person you're with is pretty good. So yeah, there's a lot of that. It's a very intense experience.
Whether on opposite sides or the same team, the results are the same. An extraordinary blossoming of pride and prowess. You won't see anything quite like it anywhere, except the World Dwarf Games.
Yes! But you're
Coming up next on Extreme Festivals. The cold has finally gone to their heads in an Alaskan town, where women come to be crowned the undisputed queen of the wilderness and men put themselves on the auction block. Don't miss Talkeetna's annual Wilderness Woman Competition and Bachelor Auction when Extreme Festivals returns. We're back with more of Extreme Festivals. The Alaskan wilderness, one of the last great frontiers. Denali National Park is a wilderness area roughly the size of Massachusetts. The centerpiece of this Arctic jewel is Mount McKinley, the tallest peak in North America. At 20,320 feet above sea level, this mountain calls to adventurous spirits from all over the world. They all start their journeys from Talkeetna, a small town some 60 miles from the summit and home to 366 people. Talkeetna is a frozen settlement of peace and tranquility. All that is about to change. With all the things that Talkeetna has going for it, there's one big drawback. Men outnumber women 5 to 1. And with few women around, the long days and nights of winter can be downright devastating to the town's bachelors.
It's difficult to find companionship up here. So we just come up with this idea, this little party to attract some ladies up.
So the townsfolk came up with a way to lure women to Talkeetna and pump up the mating rituals in this husbandless hamlet. Welcome to the annual Wilderness Woman Competition and Bachelor Auction and Ball, a day-long event that brings single ladies to a town dominated by single men. Most men live in remote cabins with no electricity and no running water. Most women aren't willing to live under such rustic conditions. But for those who are, the Bachelors created a contest where women have to demonstrate survival skills essential for living in the wild.
Is it me? It's you. It's you.
In order to participate, the women have to be single and over 21. This year, 15 women will test their skill and their stamina.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Always wanted to do it, and so I come and show them how Britt does it.
I live in Trapper Creek across the river. I came here last night looking for a job. I'm broke. After one too many drinks and a few too many dances, somehow I got involved in this race.
I've competed a few times in the past. It's a lot of fun. This will be year 10.
I don't think I've ever been so nervous this early in the morning.
Oh, yes, I feel so good. Whew. Yeah, squeeze harder, harder. Harder.
The Bachelors eagerly check out the available goods. So do the women.
I got one particular bachelor in mind. He's in close proximity.
There's a saying in Talkeetna that the odds might be good, but the goods are odd. But that doesn't seem to faze the contestants.
My favorite is always grog. He's the essence of the best type of wilderness person there could be. Plus, has an infectious laugh.
And what type of women are the Talkeetna Bachelors attracted to?
I'm looking for somebody, like I say in my deal, somebody that wants to spend more than one night in the woods and actually consider it fun. I live very elegantly in the woods. I have a beautiful scrap-fed cabin. But I don't have running water. Sorry, dear, no running water. You run and get it.
I need a true Alaskan woman that can feed the dogs, chop the wood. That's what I'm looking for.
This is a kind of small airplane, and I'd like her to be a little slender and a little light, so she didn't take up too much room in my airplane.
Hey, any single woman up here qualifies.
The women are ready to go. The first heat is also the most physical.
Okay, listen up, girls. Here's the deal. You need to go down, pick up the full buckets, and get back down here. Do not set the buckets down until you cross the line, and your time does not stop until you set the buckets down.
Mark, set, go!
I fell!
Yes, go!
Only the 5 fastest women make it into the second round. The upcoming rounds will determine who the wildest gal in Alaska really is.
If
They include snow machines and guns.
Oh, it's so light and cute.
I get shot 5 times and try and die dramatically.
But the sandwich category is the bachelor's favorite.
I'm the sandwich guy. Where's my beer, woman?
At the beginning of the race, the women have to quickly prepare a beer and sandwich to a bachelor in need. Of course, it isn't always delivered in the nicest way.
She ran up with her teeth and opened the beer up. She's just like, oh shit. More mustard, all right.
The competition is over, but the winner won't be announced until tonight's big event, the Bachelor Auction and Ball. That's when the tables are turned and bachelors take to the stage to be auctioned off in a frenzy of female wolf whistles.
And I hope everyone's having a great night out there tonight and resting up and saving all our pennies for the Bachelor Auction. And you're listening to KTNA 88.5 FM in beautiful downtown Talkeetna.
This is old hat for Stuart. He knows all too well what awaits him tonight.
I've done 2 before. This is going to be my 3rd one. It's very humiliating. It's kind of like skydiving. It's not going to be a quiet room, I can tell you that. Obviously, everyone wants to get a lady for the night, you know. And of course, the women just come up because they hope to get a man for the night, so it's all good.
The bar is already packed. But before the Bachelor Auction swings into action, the winners of the Wilderness Woman competition are announced.
At 6 minutes and 5 seconds, Becky!
Talkeetna has a new Wilderness Woman. May the Bachelor Auction begin.
You go up there like a piece of meat and you're auctioned off in front of a bunch of wild Talkeetna women. It's the scariest thing you'll ever do in your life.
It's been a wild day in Talkeetna, Alaska. Tomorrow, the town will slowly return to its rustic roots and decidedly masculine persuasion. But for tonight, there are women in town, and everyone is just doing what comes naturally.